We are live. So yeah, welcome all to our second part to the webinar about agentic AI threat modeling with the MAESTRO framework. Again, with my colleague Mohammed. So we will now deep dive in the MAESTRO framework with a quick demo at the end and show you how to identify the new risks of agentic AI systems and also show how to mitigate the risks with a systematic approach using a proper threat modeling method with the Maestro in addition to the classic threat detection techniques. So, Mohammed, from your side, some additions, or we directly jump in?
We can directly jump in. Last time we talked about the kind of threat that could compromise our system, and today we will talk about how to mitigate those problems and the exact ways to make our system secure.
All right, great. Then we will start the sharing. So we will move on from the same part where we ended last week. So by the way, who was not participating last week, you can find the webinar on our YouTube channel, VamiSec, and also this webinar will be uploaded on our YouTube channel afterwards. So yeah, and now let's go. I've shared the screen. Mohammed, you can start.
Okay, so to understand the security risks around AI system, it helps to look at established security frameworks. One widely referenced framework is the OWASP Top 10 for machine learning, which highlight the most common risks affecting modern AI systems. These risks can span different stages of the AI lifecycle. Some attacks target the input to the model, such as input manipulation, where adversarial inputs are crafted to trick the model into producing incorrect results. Other targets training data, like data poisoning, where attackers corrupt training datasets to influence how the model behaves. There are also attacks that try to extract sensitive information from models, such as model inversion or membership inference, which can reveal details about the data used during training. Another category involves stealing or tampering with the model itself, including model theft, supply chain attacks, or malicious fine-tuning. Finally,
Yeah.
some attacks
There is
focus
also, by
on
the way, regarding model theft, there is some rumors ongoing that DeepSeek or not, wasn't it with DeepSeek? So they have
Mhm.
stolen data from OpenAI, right? So they're stealing like the training data and model information. So in the end, I remember in OpenAI they have experienced this model theft, threat.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not really far-fetched for a company to use the data of another company.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's really hard in the end to mitigate this 100%, because I
yeah,
mean, at
yeah,
the end you can use it and with AI try to to steal.
absolutely, yes. So when we move to AI agents which can interact with API tools, external system, these risks can go beyond incorrect predictions and directly impact real-world action, what you were just saying. So this is why understanding this threat is essential before discussing agent-specific risk and mitigation strategy. Alongside that, we have another useful framework for understanding attacks against AI systems is Meter Atlas. It's a knowledge base of adversarial techniques targeting AI and machine learning system. Similar to how Meter attack maps attacks against traditional IT infrastructures, it also helps organizations to understand how attackers target AI system across different stages of an attack lifecycle.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So it's from the past, from traditional attacks, it's the so-called cyber kill chain. So which we
Mm,
have like how the typical attack ongoing. Like first, the attacker go and research about his target, right? So this is a reconnaissance phase, and
Mm-hmm.
then he tried to get the foot into the door, so to say, maybe with phishing attempts and so on and so forth, like just trying to get the first success, and then after the first success, trying to exploit different systems, and then perform lateral movement. So this is like the traditional stuff, and I mean here it's quite similar. So the Mitra Atlas, it's like the adoption for AI systems, for agentic AI systems, and also shows how the typical cyber kill chain with focus on agentic AI systems is
Mm-hmm.
proceeding within the real attack, until like the real impact in the end, like data stealing and so on and so forth. So yeah, before the most relevant threat, it was ransomware, right? So in the end, there was ransomware, typically within the traditional attacks. Within AI attacks, I mean, it could also be ransomware at the end, so ransom demand, but also like exfiltration, stealing of data, models, stealing of data. So yeah, let's see where this goals, ethical goals will go.
Yeah, I
If you
absolutely agree. Like the attack vector have really changed between the past couple of years and now. Uh, there used to be more like technical. Nowadays, anyone can infiltrate like big companies with vibe coding or like prompt injection and stuff like that. And
Yeah, yeah. This so the vibe coding, like right before we had script kiddies, right? So
yeah,
what did script kiddies do? They have just used finished out of the box text scripts and could easily attack. Now it's like we can say vibe kidding or vibe script kidding. Like they can prompt. It's even more easier right now for the attackers, for script kiddies to attack using AI. So they can just prompt via an LLM based red teaming solution framework, can quickly prompt their attacks, prompt some exploits, so it's become much more easier. And so this is one thing. And then using agents for attackers, right?
yeah,
So attackers can also use agents. So
hmm
it could become crazy with the attacks. Imagine if you have
yes,
like different types of agents. One agent doing more focus on social engineering. One agent focus on zero-day research and exploitation, reconnaissance of current upcoming zero days and exploits them. One agent focusing on maybe like on the LLM attacks, and so the attacker can use AI, automate the attacks with AI agents, multiple AI agents, and this becomes more accessible for script kiddies also. So this is, I
hmm
think, one of the biggest risks which we will see in the future at attack landscapes. I'm
hmm
pretty sure. This matrix here, Mitra Atlas matrix, shows exactly how the
the kind
attack
of
status
attacks. Yeah.
are being performed.
hmm Across the top, we see like the matrix is structured by adversary objectives and phases of an attack. It starts with the reconnaissance, like you said, and resource development, then moves into initial access, model access, execution, and persistent. And from there, it covers privileged escalation, defense evasion, credential access discovery, lateral movement, collection, attack staging, a few examples visible in the matrix include like prompt injection, model inversion, data poisoning, credential theft, and so on. So the matrix really give defenders a shared vocabulary for mapping threats and prioritizing controls and identifying detection gaps. Um, this slide introduces the MAESTRO framework. It stands for multi-agent environment, security, threat, risk, and outcome. It's described as a practical framework for threat modeling and securing agentic AI system. And the main idea here is that we shouldn't just look at, we need to think about the entire agent lifecycle. That includes what the agent can see, how it makes a decision, what tools it can use, and respond when something goes wrong. First, the model. First, we model the whole agent loop from input to planning to tool use to memory. Second, we assume adversarial context. Any prompt, document, or tool output could be hostile. Third, we apply least privilege by design, tight scopes, short-lived credentials, and approval for high-risk actions. Fourth, we constrain action. That means type tools, allow lists, and boxing, and controlling what the agent can send. Fifth, we verify and monitor and we validate the output, log activity, watch for anomalies. And finally, operational readiness, things like kill switches, credential rotation, quarantines, incident response playbooks. And the image to the right shows the MAESTRO framework as a seven-layer architecture, starting from foundation models and going up through data operations up until the observability.
Yeah,
Like
it's in the end like yeah, more optimized view on the threads, right? So I mean, in the
mhm,
end, with a yeah traditional stride methodology for threat modeling, it's quite okay. It's still usable for AI systems because you have also the traditional threads, but
mhm,
it doesn't focus so much on the yeah new designs of agentic AI systems, and that's why it's very crucial to really perform proper threat modeling on agentic AI to also yeah look at the dedicated AI layers, right,
mhm.
or maestro layers, and yeah to fully understand the potential risks and threats. So this is in the end, yeah, I would say from AI governance perspective, the way to go to identify to perform risk management, to perform risk analysis properly.
Like the point of all of this is, like you said, give us a structured way to think about threats and mitigation across every layer, not just the prompt level.
Right, right.
Um, the Maestro threat modeling methodology that provides a structured way to analyze and secure an AI agent system. And how do we dive into that? So, like step one is the decomposition. We start by breaking the system into Maestro layers and identifying the key components, agents, models, tools, data flows, privileges, and so on. The goal is to clearly understand what the system does and how it operates before assessing the risk. Step two is layer-specific threat modeling. Once the architecture is mapped, we examine each layer independently to identify vulnerabilities and weaknesses that are unique to that part of the system. This helps to ensure that we do not overlook risks hidden in the model, data orchestration, infrastructure, and tool use layers. Step three is cross-layer threat identification. This is especially important for AI systems boundaries, for example, from infrastructure to data, or from prompt injection to tool misuse. And then privilege escalation. Here we focus on attack chains and how one weakness can enable another. Step four is risk assessment. After identifying threats, we evaluate both likelihood and impact. Step five is mitigation planning. Based on the risks, we design their defenses. And finally, step six is implement and monitor. Threat modeling is not a one-time exercise. Controls need to be operationalized in engineering and CI/CD processes, and then continuously monitored and refined as models, agent tools, and threats evolve.
Yeah, and this monitoring part is also very yeah crucial and required by regulations like the AI Act. So to have a proper monitor in place, if your AI is working properly, I mean you
Mhm,
have in the end to monitor not only from security perspective, but also from a compliance perspective, like ethics and so on and so forth. And Here also, I mean, if you have an AI agent which got manipulated, and then with this manipulation, new social risks occur. Like the
Mm-hmm.
AI, let's imagine, for example, like Copilot or Claude or OpenAI. If these big models, which millions of people are using,
Mm-hmm.
are manipulated and having a shift of the output on one direction, whether political or ethics or social topics, right? So this is also, in the end, a risk from social perspective. So you have to look from different perspectives. So this is in the end risk management. It's not only looking on the traditional attacks, so the company getting attacked, but also on social risks. So this kind of risk you have also to consider if you perform threat modeling and risk management, risk assessments, which is also required by the, as I mentioned, regulations AI Act from the EU. So you have to assess the risks with a full range.
Yeah, it's not like implementing an AI solution and you're done with that. Like you have to really secure the infrastructure, the whole system, and otherwise it would have a catastrophic like problems.
Right,
Um,
right,
so jumping to the example use case, putting Maestro Framework to a concrete example. So we have here an adaptive learning platform that offers personalized tutoring. The idea is to make the framework feel practical by showing what an agentic system could look like in real product. First, we outline the system architecture as a set of specialized agent. The student profile agent is responsible for creating a profile of the student. It captures knowledge gaps and learning styles based on an initial assessment. Next, the curriculum planner agent takes that profile and dynamically designs a personalized learning path that aligns with the student's goals. Then the exercise generator agent leverages a large language model to create tailored practice questions and explanation, specifically targeting the students' weaknesses. Finally, the progress tracking agent continuously monitors the student's performance and adjusts the learning path over time. We summarize the technical infrastructure behind the system. The platform is a web-based and runs in Google platform. Um, this is what we end up, a single simple flow illustrating how the agent interacts from start to finish. At the top, we begin with the student profiler agent, which is connected to the initial assessment step. The results of this assessment then feed up into the curriculum planner agent, and then the curriculum planner uses that to produce a personalized learning path. Putting the Maestro framework Sentinel web application to the test, we end up with something like this. The slide shows a concrete example of the first layer foundation model of the framework. The risk here is exploitation of LLM training data. Simply put out, a fine-tuned model could accidentally expose sensitive information if its training data contains personal or confidential content. The attack vector is querying the LLM for sensitive data, which could result in unintended disclosure of personal information and potential uh, privacy or regulatory issues. Second layer of our example, data operation. This slide connects the risks to key references, OWASP, ADC1 core, or agentic AI tool misuse. The attack vector here is straightforward, crafted URLs or form input containing commands. Potential impact include compromise of the user database, unauthorized access to a student profile, and possible data manipulation and destruction. Looking at the layer 3, the attack vector here is interception of communication, whether over unencrypted channels or insecure APIs. The potential here impacts includes confusion in agent decision making, malicious influence on the tutoring process, and overall erosion of trust in the platform. Um, Moving to layer 4, deployment infrastructure. The attack vector here is accessing insecure cloud storage or abusing misconfigured IAM roles. Potential impacts include data breaches, regulatory penalties, and loss of platform integrity. Layer 5, security and compliance. The risk highlighted here is unauthorized access to student data marked as critical. The attacker here could exploit quick access control, gain unauthorized entry to sensitive student profiles and performance data stored in PostgreSQL. This slide shows another example under security and compliance. The risk here is data leakage through API misconfiguration. The attack vector is publicly accessible APIs without proper authentication or authorization checks. Layer 6, here is the agent ecosystem. Here is insecure inter-agent communication. Marked as high, agent may communicate in an insecure manner, for example, over unencrypted channels or purely secured protocols, which can allow interception or manipulation of messages. And
What
finally,
I
we
like
have
here also, I see here at the top, you have the mappings, right, to the
between the,
OWASP
yeah,
LLM. You have the mappings to the MITRE Atlas. Then I see here the AI VSS. So this is the new scoring system, the
mm-hmm,
AI vulnerability scoring system. Yeah,
yeah,
so
overestimate, yeah.
yeah, so you need to calculate the risk score of an AI in a different way than within the classic system with CVSS. So typically, all the people know CVSS, so the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, but it's not really usable to really assess a vulnerability of an AI system, and that's quite nice, in my opinion. Here, so you see here thread per thread, on the one side in which category it goes, and on the
Mm-hmm.
other side also the a real risk calculation for the AI system, and this layer by layer. So in the end, I would say a very structured way to document also risks.
Yeah, and very easy to interpret as well.
Yeah, yeah. And this is
Uh,
also like this threads is AI generated, right? So it's with Sentinel,
yeah,
Sentinel,
yeah.
the Maestro Sentinel
Master
framework.
Sentinel tool, yeah.
So in the end, you have here also, a big benefit with automatically identify such threats based on quick prompting of your agentic AI landscape.
And once you provided the prompt of your full system, it automatically generates the potential impacts that have on your security for your system.
Yeah, yeah, this is,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, a
So
game changer in the risk management game of AI management system and information
yeah,
security management
absolutely.
system.
We can like fine. Let's finish with this, and we can jump later to the demo to fully
Yeah.
present the Master Sentinel web tool. So finally, here we have in the layer 7, the evaluation and observability. The risk highlighted here is insufficient monitoring and logging of user activities. The attack vector here is simply the absence of logging for critical user actions and agent interaction. Uh, the medications provided below include implementing comprehensive logging, regulatory reviewing logs, and integrating intrusion detection systems. Uh, we can now jump to the Maestro demo
Hmm.
to fully show the tool. One moment.
Yeah. So I've also played around with this threat modeling solution, Maestro
Mm-hmm.
Sentinel. It's quite good. I would say. I mean, we are not a partner or something like that. We just researched what's existing on the like on the market of AI threat modeling topic, and yeah, this is one which you could use for a quick first threat modeling of agentic AI systems. And let's see where this will move on. But yeah,
Yeah.
like
So from the
how it's working.
mm. So once you log in, you are greeted with this dashboard where you can export all of your documents. You can launch here a new threat analysis. Right here, you can give it your name for describing your architecture. You provide the name, the system architecture descriptions. It has to be fully explained so the model can capture all the threats that could impact your system.
Yeah,
Once you
and this
do
is here the critical point, right? So if you explain, so it's shit in, shit out. It's in the AI, right? So if
exactly,
you if you put in wrong information of the your agent or incomplete information of your agentic AI solution or landscape, also of course the result will be bad. Uh, but what we need here in the end, we need to assess layer by layer. So we in best case, we describe our agentic AI solution or solutions. If we have multiple agentic AI system, we
Mhm,
describe really fine granular. So let's say, for example, we have like a big multiple AI agent landscape. So we have for the on the first side describe agent by agent, right? And then also layer by layer describe it in a comprehensive way, because only then the AI, which helps you to identify threats, can also identify it properly. Because if it don't have enough information, then of course it's also only like random risks. But the more specific, like for example, what we saw before, Postgre SQL injection, right? So this was one thread I remember. It's also
mhm,
a traditional thread, by the way. It's because we said, okay, we have a PostgreSQL server, and then maybe with user input, which goes to the database query, and then obviously we could have an SQL injection. And this is exactly
mhm,
what's really important here. If you use like AI to help you identify threats, to provide as detailed as possible the information. Um, and even it would be helpful, I think it's not supported right now, to provide also documentations. Like you can provide, for example, technical documentation of your agentic AI, and you can also upload some documentation of your AI system. So this would be really helpful. And otherwise we have to describe it properly. I don't know how many, what is the limit there, but the more comprehensive the description is, the better the results.
better the
Very, very
results. Yeah.
important here.
So moving with the analysis, here it says complete. Below we see every layer with the potential attacks and how to mitigate them and the impact layer by layer. Or you can come here and choose based on whatever layer you want to directly access, the agent deployment, evaluation, security. From here, you can generate the diagram for visual understanding.
Mhm.
This might take a while. We'll get back to it. From here, you can directly connect your Sentinel account to your GitHub account and perform assessments from here on your repository. Um, here you have your threat intelligence library of all your previous scans. Um, I believe you can integrate it with Jira as well. Here we have the pricing. So like this is mainly it
Yeah. So
for the
the
customer.
core capabilities in the end here, the automatic analysis of threads using
Mm,
Maestro, and providing some documentation support with a diagram generator and so on and so forth, and the threads library you can then use for your risk inventory of your AI. So from ISMS perspective, AIMS, so from the governance perspective, you have to have a proper risk management in place. This means you have to have a risk inventory of your systems, in that case, agentic AI systems. And that means we can use this to use this for our risk management, AI risk management, information security risk management. So it's a combined topic here. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, very good, useful tool to get rid a little bit of manual work. So
Absolutely. I think it's this is a game changer, to be honest, and it sets the basis of what tools can come up in the future regarding AI security.
yeah. All right, great. Yeah, thank you very much, Mohammed. Thanks to
Thank you.
all,
Thank you, man.
also for yeah visiting this webinar on the Saturday, rainy Saturday here in Bonn. But yeah, very nice topic, and we will move on with agentic AI security topics and webinars. So next week, it's also planned to dive in a little bit more on the practical attacks to showcase some attacks based on vulnerable sample AI systems. So real cases. So this is like the topic, and then also discuss a little bit more the mitigations. For now, today we look more at the threats and threat modeling approach, but later we will also look a little bit more into the mitigations topics and also more practical aspects, maybe with some deep dive also in AI pen testing and security testing approaches of AI. So it's also different. Not only the threat modeling is different, the threat landscape is different, also the testing approach is different. And the mitigations
Mhm.
are also different. I mean, um, how you can properly identify a prompt injection. So you can't use traditional techniques like input validation with regular expressions, because the AI doesn't care about your string. You can do misspelling, you can do encoding, and so on. You have so many possibilities with an LLM to bypass regular expressions. That's why traditional measures don't work to secure agentic AI systems. You can only prevent AI based attacks on AI systems with AI defense
Yeah,
technologies.
that's great.
Yeah, it's not possible without AI to defend AI with AI attacks. So, a lot of AI today, but yeah,
Absolutely.
this is today's topic. And yeah, with that said, thanks again. Have a great weekend, Mohammed. To
Thank you.
you, great weekend to
Goodbye.
all.
See ya.
Yeah, let's
Bye.